one analogy that I found that works really well is the analogy of an onion.
Okay.
Right? Let me describe that momentarily. Let me close one thing that has popped up here. Right? If you take an onion, there's, I'm pretty sure you've cut or opened up an onion before. It has many different layers. Now, the inner layer of the onion is the primordial guilt, which
Okay.
means it's the original guilt that we felt the
We
moment that we
separate
chose the ego. That's right,
the
of the separation.
gifts of
That's
God.
the core of the onion, right?
Okay.
Now, when we felt the guilt of that moment, we denied it and projected it out. When we went over those steps, it was the second step where we had the two ways of looking at it, the ego and the Holy Spirit.
Hmm.
That's another layer of the onion,
Okay.
right? And then we chose the ego, denied that, projected it out, and we have the world, another layer of the onion, right? And then we
Right.
have our relationships, another layer of the onion. That's where we practice our forgiveness, right in the world. The last step, the world of multiplicity. Now, when we're in the world and we have our forgiveness lessons and we do not forgive, what we're doing is we're making another layer of the onion, right?
Okay.
So when you have that situation with the lady in the car, right, and let's just assume, because I always find it's best to assume that at that moment there was guilt. I
Hmm.
didn't feel it, but at that moment there was guilt, and I know there was guilt because my hand reacted in a way to tell that lady that she was guilty. And I know
Right.
she got the picture because she started profusely apologizing,
Right.
right? So there was guilt there. So what I do is I look back at the fact that there was guilt that I denied, and I forgive that because you can't get to the level of the onion where you're forgiving the person before you get to the level where you denied,
Okay.
right? Because you can't get to the center of the onion without going through the outer layers, right?
Yeah.
If something is inside, is encased in something, you can't get to it unless you get through the casing.
Hmm.
So you work from the outside in. So, and all that is just to say, if you have a forgiveness lesson that you deny in whatever way, and you don't forgive, what you do now is not feel guilty about the fact that you didn't forgive. What you do is you forgive yourself for not forgiving,
Okay.
right? And then once you say, you know what, I was in denial, I didn't forgive, I attacked, and I'm not guilty for it. That doesn't make me guilty. Jesus still loves me. In fact, he said, don't fight yourself, right? I didn't want to forgive, right? And obviously, I didn't fight myself because I didn't want to forgive so bad that I denied it altogether. But now, I'm fighting myself because I feel guilty that I didn't forgive. But I'm going to stop fighting myself. I didn't forgive, I denied, and it's okay. It's okay. So what? I didn't forgive. There was a time that I didn't forgive. I mean, how many years have you lived already that you didn't forgive? So there's another forgiveness. All right. I mean,
Yeah.
I started studying the course when I was what? Um, how old am I now? I guess I was 25 or something like that, whatever. So that was 25 years of forgiveness lessons that I didn't do at all. There's one more. I mean, it's not going to do anything. So what?
Right.
Right? So, so now I'm at that point to where I didn't forgive, I denied, I attacked, and that's okay. Now I can step into the situation. Okay, now what was going on there? Because now I've gotten a layer away, so now I can go to the next layer. Okay, so what was going on? That lady cut me off. She cut you off, right? That's what it was.
Right. Yeah.
And I felt angry, right? So that means I took the guilt that I have. I'm angry. I'm upset, and I believe you attacked me, right? So obviously there's guilt in my mind, and now I know where the guilt is from. It's because I believe I attacked God. God was just going along, being His unified, unlimited self, and I cut Him off. I said, nope. Separation is going to reign now. Individuality is going to reign now. Oneness will no longer reign. There's a first and there's no second. There's a second, there's a third, there's a billion now, right? So I'm going to just cut you off, run you off the road, and now individuality is on the road. That's why we're angry when people cut us off, because we know at the level of the mind, we cut God off. When He was on His road of unlimited, boundless, non-individuality, unseparation, and we cut Him off and said we're not going to have that anymore, right? That's why I
Yeah.
feel guilty, right? But if what the Course says is true, right? If what the Course says is true, and individuality cannot be infringed upon. What I'm seeing is not real, right? And it gives me criteria to determine whether something is real, right? Does everything here last? Right? There's a part in the workbook where it says if you value something that would not last forever, what you value is nothing. Is there
Right.
anything here that lasts forever? No. So it can't be real. It can't be real. Right? So if nothing here is real and it's an effect of my guilt, then my guilt can't be real. How can the effect that is not real come from a
Oh,
real cause? It can't. So the guilt that's making this can't be real. The guilt that I'm feeling right now in the form of anger at this person, it can't really have any validity. Right? Which means the separation can't really be real. Right? So there's no primordial guilt either. So now we're just brushing through the layers now. Right? So now we all the way back at the primordial guilt. That can't be real. Right? So that means I'm innocent because the primordial guilt is not there. That person is innocent for cutting me off because, I mean, how can they be guilty if there's no guilt to project onto them? Right? So wow. So now we just all innocent, and that's it. You started with the outer layer, you worked all the way through. So that's how you do it. That's it right there. That's an example of how you can forgive yourself for not forgiving. After you forgive yourself for not forgiving, then forgive what you could have forgiven, and you can move right along. So you never lose a forgiveness lesson. The,
okay.
the only time the only time you lose a forgiveness lesson is to not start with the outer layer of the onion,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So if you look back, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again, right? Just be ready for it. And the next time it happens, when you look back and realize, wow, I didn't forgive yourself for the fact that you didn't forgive. And after you forgive yourself for the fact that you didn't forgive, then go ahead and forgive. So that forgiveness lesson is still there to forgive. Still go ahead and forgive it. So now, ego, you tried to trick me out of one and I got two. So the ego can't win, right?